Namaskar. Today we will study polymorphism in the enzyme vitamin K reductase or the genetic variations in this enzyme vitamin K reductase. And vitamin K exists in three forms. One of them is epoxide. So vitamin K epoxide reductase, to be exact. So polymorphism is nothing but genetic variation within a population, and vitamin K is a fat soluble vitamin which helps in blood clotting, and vitamin K acts as a coenzyme to the enzyme gamma glutamyl carboxylase enzyme. So vitamin K is a coenzyme to carboxylase enzyme, and it exists in three forms: hydroquinone, epoxide and quinone. Hydroquinone is the active form, epoxide is the inactive form, and quinone is the intermediate form. So blood clotting, there are two pathways, intrinsic pathway and extrinsic pathway. And if you see in the extrinsic pathway, factor 7, and in the intrinsic pathway factor 9, then second step the prothrombin to thrombin, and this one factor 10. So these four, factor 2, 7, 9 and 10, these four clotting factors are essential in this blood coagulation cascade, and all these four are glycoproteins. These are all glycoproteins, and during the synthesis of these glycoproteins, in the final step of their synthesis, there is gamma carboxylation. There is gamma carboxylation, and the glutamic acid is converted to gamma carboxyl glutamic acid. So the enzyme gamma glutamyl carboxylase is required in the final synthesis, final step of the synthesis of these four factors, so that the unmodified non-functional clotting factors are converted to carboxylated functional factors. And the enzyme here is the carboxylase, gamma glutamyl carboxylase, and the coenzyme is the vitamin K. So the active form of vitamin K is the hydroquinone form, KH2 form, the reduced form, which is converted to the oxidized form, that is the epoxide form. So this is the hydroquinone form, the two OH are there, and it is converted to the inactive form. This is the epoxide form. And then there is regeneration of this hydroquinone, the active form. So vitamin K epoxide form is reduced by vitamin K reductase, or you can say vitamin K epoxide reductase. So here we can say this enzyme also as the vitamin K epoxide reductase, and it becomes the quinone form. Quinone is again reduced by vitamin K reductase to the hydroquinone form. So in this way, this active form of vitamin K, hydroquinone or dihydroquinone, is regenerated. And from quinone to hydroquinone, there is a requirement of NADPH, which is converted to NADP plus, or NADH to NAD plus. And warfarin, the oral anticoagulant, it acts by inhibiting the vitamin K reductase, so that there cannot be the regeneration of the active form of vitamin K, and vitamin K cannot act as the coenzyme to the enzyme gamma carboxylase, gamma glutamyl carboxylase, and there cannot be the synthesis of four factors 2, 7, 9 and 10, and that will inhibit the blood coagulation. So this fibrin causes the blood clot or coagulation, and because there will be no synthesis of these 4 essential factors 2, 7 and 9 and 10. So there will be anticoagulant effect of warfarin. So vitamin K acts as a coagulant, warfarin is the oral anticoagulant. So this enzyme vitamin K epoxide reductase, or in short we can say VKORC1, vitamin K epoxide reductase complex subunit 1. So there is mutation or genetic variations in this enzyme, and the most clinically relevant genetic variation is G4A in the promoter region of the gene of this enzyme, and there can also be other variations like C40 in intron 1, G4A in exon 3 of the gene of this enzyme, but the most clinically relevant polymorphism is G4A in the promoter region. So accordingly we can have two alleles, A allele and G allele, A allele and G allele. So when there is mutation and A allele becomes dominant, so A allele reduces the vitamin K reductase gene expression and lowers the vitamin K reductase activity. So there can be two types of people mainly, AA genotype, or persons in whom higher prevalence of A allele is there, and the most of the Asians are of this group. And second is the GG genotype, where the G allele has higher prevalence, and mostly the Africans are under this group, and the Europeans have mixed allele distribution. So when there is higher prevalence of A allele, as we said that the A allele reduces the vitamin K reductase gene expression. So when there is vitamin K reductase gene expression is lower, so the vitamin K reductase activity is decreased. That means the warfarin, as we have already discussed, that warfarin inhibits this enzyme. So when the vitamin K reductase gene expression is suppressed, so vitamin K reductase activity is lowered, so warfarin sensitivity increases. So in the AA genotype, or the Asians in whom higher prevalence of A allele is there is increase in warfarin sensitivity. So that causes high risk of bleeding because of higher or over anticoagulation, and that's why they require lower dose. Whereas the GG genotype cases, as in case of Africans, there is higher prevalence of G allele, and there is decrease in warfarin sensitivity, and that causes the high risk of thrombosis due to under anticoagulation. So in those people, they require higher dose of warfarin, and the Europeans have mixed allele distribution, so moderate dose adjustment is needed. So the clinical impact of the genetic variations in vitamin K reductase is the persons with higher prevalence of A allele require lower dose of warfarin, and the persons with higher prevalence of G allele require higher dose of warfarin, and those in whom there is mixed allele distribution, the moderate dose adjustment is needed. So FDA labeling for warfarin suggests lower initial doses for vitamin K reductase AA carriers or A allele carriers. So we can conclude that genetic polymorphisms in the vitamin K reductase gene significantly impact warfarin sensitivity, influencing the dose required for anticoagulation therapy, and people with A allele require low dose of warfarin, and people with G allele require higher dose of warfarin. So that's all. Thank you.